Hi, Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. Today we're going to look at some sales and talk about some mistakes. Stay tuned.
1 Foot Flipper.
Just before we start, some of this video might seem a little familiar to some of you. I originally launched a video about 2 weeks ago. It ended up having some fatal flaws that I noticed after watching it. Went back and watched it about an hour after it launched, and I pulled the video. This video does contain some of that footage, but only about 100 of you saw the original, so just for the few of you who did, just let you know you're not crazy. You did see some of this before. Have you ever felt that you might need some top tips for selling luxury watches on eBay? Well, if you do, you're in luck. Because if you're an eBay seller, eBay has probably sent you an email about this every day for the past week. The exact same email. Must be extremely important. This email tells me to sell luxury watches. Wants me to find out the ways to create a winning listing, reduce returns, and ship to the authentication facility, and more. Gives me tips to things like seller school, listing tips, and marketing tools. And it's very important if you're a seasoned seller like me who sells a lot of things. eBay should probably remind you on a daily basis that you need to sell luxury watches. And since it's both an eBay email and an eBay message, I'm getting it. I've now gotten this message, 28 times? All right, let's look at something else for a second. Today, not been the greatest day. I mean, part of it was the greatest day because I did wake up to 6,000 subs, which was my 3-year goal on YouTube, and I made it there before 10 months. But the bad part about today is that I had to go out and buy a replacement monitor for my computer, and what should have been a 1-hour round trip to Micro Center and back turned into a 4.5-hour nightmare because of a flat tire in a Jeep model that doesn't come with a spare tire and 2 different defective bottles of Fix-A-Flat. The one that was in the Jeep was empty, and the one we bought at the store was defective, and then finally gave up and got towed home. Sold this Force of Will Valentine's Day playmat, $14.54. International shipping, so this is going over to some other country outside the US, although my phone does not tell me. Magic the Gathering Shadowmoor Mountain Playmat, lightly used, $22.86. Yeah, it's kind of a playmat day today because here's the third one. Viceroy Neoprene Playmat, $4.85. This was at some point a Kickstarter item that then got dumped into the hobby merchandising chain, which then got bought out by me in a product buyout. I sold this replacement hex map board for the Avalon Hill Waterloo game. This is one of the 3 maps, sold for $6.50 plus shipping. Another use for these, if you're selling things like this, these hex maps are also great for Dungeons and Dragons old school games, because on those games the outdoors was also supposed to be represented in hexes because the guys who wrote D&D were really playing war games before that. And the earliest book actually suggested that you specifically used a specific map from a specific game. I believe it was the map to Outdoor Survival from Avalon Hill, which I've got one on my shelf just for that purpose if I ever decided to play that old. I'll have to pop a picture on the screen because they're already in here, but I sold a Warhammer Lord of the Rings Mounted Cavalry Army of 26 figures for $338.72. My cost of goods there was $13. And today is a day for boards and playmats because I sold this Stratego 63 replacement game board, $8.99. Viewer Chris from House of Funk, put a link in the description to his YouTube. Bought a Q4 Death Pile Monster just in time for Q4. I'll also toss him in a few Beanie Baby cards because why not? Everybody should sell Beanie Babies on eBay. Now, despite a series of emails from somebody I just got through the eBay message system telling them my Blood Bowl prices were crazy, I sold 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 painted Blood Bowl miniatures. Blood Bowl is a fantasy football game, but fantasy is in fantastic creatures and wizards playing football. Most popular in the 80s or 90s, but I do believe they're making it again now. Sold those for $53.98, all to the same customer. Sold 3 record albums for $22.33. Total, we got Eric Clapton, Slow Hand, Sammy Johns in whatever the heck that is, and Ian Matthews in whatever the heck that is. If you know what that is, put it in the comments. Sold a Sony PS2 4-player multi-tap for that very rare 45-year-old man who has 3 friends who are going to sit on the couch with him and play PlayStation 2. Sealed VHS, The Untouchables, all of $3.61. My cost of goods on this was probably $0.25, and I get this perfect box for sealed VHS for free, so at least I could keep a mint and not incur any extra shipping costs there. So this IBM logo water bottle, it's vintage-ish. It's supposed to be around circa 2000. I had 2 of these originally. Got them at the same garage sale, same time, for $1 each. One of them sold right away for either $18 or $20, and this one held on for 2 years, sold for $11.63. But it's going international, so I'm sure they probably paid 3 times that much in shipping. Sold a couple packs of Magic card sleeves, Nessa, $5.81. Sold a Warhammer Fantasy Metal Skaven Rat Ogre, $26.87. I sold 5 bundles of shiny foil Magic cards that were 200 each that are all inventoried for $56.91, all to the same customer. Individual listing and inventorying these was not worth my time. I got less than half of what I hoped because he paid $55, but the book value on these is singles, and by book I mean the actual literal value they were selling for on TCG Player low was nearly $300 on this lot, so not worth my labor to make less money, I guess. Alright, I sold a Buzz Lightyear that I can't find anywhere. Put a picture of him up on the screen. He's supposed to be in box sale. I haven't had a box sale in 1.5 years. I haven't seen him in a very long time. And he sold for so little that there's a possibility I'll lose. No, they paid $15.81 shipping, so I'm not going to lose money on shipping. And I sold 2 vintage pulp magazines. I'll pop them up on the screen since they're upstairs. I sold West magazine from September 1942 and Ace magazine from October 1928, 1447, plus combined shipping. I may lose $1 on the shipping on those because it'll probably go over £1, and those magazines do not qualify for media mail. All right, on to the next segment. Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Rancor Prime Games on his store, Green Leap Deals. He just put up a bunch of brand new Magic cards, so you might want to go check that out. And he's a channel member, so you know you need to. Thanks. Now, some people are going to take this as more of a sign that eBay doesn't care about the small seller, and all they care about is high-end watches, Gucci bags, graded sports cards, even though that market's going down, auto parts, and sneakers to go to the authentication thing. But really what it is their marketing department is concerned about marketing to the categories that they want to expand in, that they can make more money in. They already own the used stuff garage sale category. Everybody knows this. They own that already. There's no sense in telling people that there's used clothes on eBay. Everybody already knows that. You don't need to tell them that there's Funko Pops on eBay. Everybody knows that. But the watches thing, they're really trying to build up on because they make a high profit on every single watch. So why wouldn't they try to expand in this? But it can get really annoying to the average seller when they make a mistake, and their mistake is to send out the same ad every single day to every seller, telling them to sell things that they either are already selling or have no interest in selling. Fact is, most most sellers have no access to high-end watches to sell them to begin with. And those who do are already selling them. I'm not sure what this ad is even for. And those of you watching hoping to get some tips to sell high-end watches on eBay, here, let me give you your tips. You have your high-end watch on eBay, you take good pictures of it. You research the market price for that watch, and you list it at that price. And when it sells, you send it to the eBay Authentication Center, just like the address will already be in there, and then you don't worry about it anymore. Those are my top tips for selling high-end luxury watches on eBay. Now, maybe let's look at a few sales. I haven't done sales in a couple of videos in a row. Hi, Paige here, the 1 Foot Flipper. I don't know if this is going to come out right. I'm much further back from the camera than usual. There was some stuff in the way, so I tried a different tripod, so let's see how it works out. I might have to film this whole thing over again. Sold men without hats, $7.85. This is the one with the safety dance on it, so no worries there. I sold this vintage pin button, Exity Winky Fan Club. This is from the Exity Venture arcade game. Since I'm so far away from the camera, I'll have to pop this up on the screen. This sold for $23.27. I found a small bag of these in the back of an arcade game about 20 years ago. I've been selling them off over the years. It started out at about $5, and this was my very last one. Sold for $23.27. So Gino Vanelli X Library album, $4.33. I sold a reproduction rear stripe for the trunk of a Monte Carlo SS 1987, 1988 models, $24.24. I got this in a partial stripe kit that I got for $1 at a garage sale. And everything at that sale was $1, so no, I did not rip the people off or talk them down. Gourd sold for $11.63. I am running out of gourds, so if you've been eyeing them or you've been wanting to build up your own gourd inventory, now's the time to buy or the time to grow, because I will not be into the gourds next year. I have no restocks coming. I bought a Panasonic VHS compact camcorder. Well, I bought it and I sold it, but I sold it for $59.27. It's got a case and all that. It's pretty cool if you're into that sort of thing, and I guess the people who buy this sort of thing are into that sort of thing. Alright, what else did I get? I sold a set of paperwork for the NBA Jam Hang Time kit. What was important in the paperwork, I think, is that it had a set of unused coin door stickers showing what you can do there, or to buy a full game for 4 tokens. I'm going to bet that's what sold this lot, because somebody restoring their machine, if they want perfect, they're going to want those original stickers on their coin doors, and not something that somebody scanned and then put out on the wrong sticker paper and all that. Alright, that's all I got for now. Unless I have to record this whole thing because the camera's far away. Guess I'll see that when I get upstairs. I'll meet you up there. Just a couple of quick sales here with everything else. Gordon Lightfoot LP, $4.78. The Creature That Ain't Sheboygan board game from that recent buy, $19.99. Same customer took advantage of combined shipping and got an RIU Cancun Resort employee hat and a 2014 Cinco de Mayo t-shirt from Mexican Fiesta Restaurant, which is a local place, I believe. I don't think it's a chain. Sold a classic Warhammer Rhino, $22.49, 3% promoted listings on that. And I sold a pair of model train couplers, $3.79. All right, let's do a few sales. This first part I'm most going to pop up on the screen because I've already sent them out for the most part. Sold a sledding snowman personalized ornament for $6.85. Quantity on those, buy lots of them. Sold Baron von Tolbooth and the Chrome Nun LP for $11.11. Sold this cool Warhammer Warlock Eldar with Witchblade mini, pick up on the screen, $17.99. Sold this Jabber the Parrot Beanie Baby with matching trading card, $4.36. Don't do this, it's not worth it. Run away. Sold 2 packs of card sleeves with the gun on them, $4.36. Sold some gourds, but I won't mention those since I don't have them in front of me to show you the real pictures. Sold 2 playmats to the same customer, same general theme. Young ladies in military garb. One has a box, the other doesn't. These were $16 each, plus shipping. Sold this guy here. He's a Skaven Ratman Skink. He sold for $24.99 in 1 day. 1996 Sega Game Gear cartridge, Quarterback Club, $1.99. This is the kind of stuff I want out of. This is the kind of stuff that's been wrecking my profit margins this year. The things that cost twice as much to ship than they're even worth. Sold this gourd, the actual gourd, $8.99 plus shipping. Sold these little train knuckles, $3.41. Sold a 3 Dog Night album. It's all the way over here for some reason. This sold for very big bucks. I will be able to retire off of this. It sold for $4.71 plus shipping. A Space Marine Chaplain for Warhammer 40,000. He sold for $19.40. A Tupperware lid for $3.48. I think the Tupperware lid market is getting worse and worse. Too many people have seen too many of our friends on YouTube selling Tupperware lids, and the market's getting pretty clogged up now because it's not hard to find Tupperware lids at garage sales. For some reason, they always disappear out of your house, though. Where do they go? Sold this set of 4 Necron Warriors. Oh, sorry, 5. Looks like 6 Necron Warriors, $97. I will drop a picture of that up on the screen. All right, let's do a few more items that is sold. I sold this Warhammer 40,000 Le Mans Rush painted tank for $36. I sold this Milton Bradley Samurai Swords game sealed for $183.33. Sold this broken for repair Sega Dreamcast, $50 even. It's been a pretty good day so far. Right underneath that is the cars. Heartbeat City, sold that for $6.64. Not great. You know how sometimes you touch something and it sells? I touched Chris Pronger yesterday, and today he sold for $8.27. I believe he was the last of the goalie collections. I sold 2 separate lots of blank tapes that have been recorded on for a total of $43. There's nothing to show you. They're already boxed up. I'll throw a picture up of this because it's already boxed. Dickens Village Accessories, Department 56 type stuff for $11.78. And finally, I sold a train car. Bachman Big Haulers. Large scale side dump car. That sold for $46.75. All right, let's get back to the rest of it. Overall, this has been a week of me just trying to get things into order and to do things better. I've listed hundreds of dollars worth of miniatures because that's what I'm cranking through again. Mostly Little Rat Man. I think you saw one of them sell in this video. Sales are definitely up, but they still vary wildly. I have an $18 day, a $650 day, a $300 day, a $50 day, and that is really not all that strange when it comes to eBay. I'm not really sure why people, particularly people with a wide variety of different items in their store, are expecting to get the same number of sales every day. It doesn't work that way. Even when I sold nothing but Magic cards, and I pumped in 100 of them, at least 100 of them a day, my sales still would be up or down 50% to 100% every single day. That would be normal daily fluctuations. The weeks would be smoother than that, the months would be smoother than that, but the day-to-day fluctuated a lot. And when I worked for the game store, they had their own website. You know, it isn't eBay, so there's nobody to shut them on or off. their sales also fluctuated on the website in the exact same manner. Wednesday might be 200% the sales of Tuesday, and Thursday might be 20% of the sales of Wednesday. Those crazy fluctuations existed there as well. That's just how business is. All right, I think I've rambled on for enough for now. Thanks. If you know anybody whose sales are fluctuating a lot day to day, tell them about this channel. But hey, thanks a lot. I hope to see you again soon.